Peace to the family. This is Brother Polite, and we are here for another installment for enlightenment purposes. I'm going to have good brother Lawan Abram join us, and we're going to speak to you about status correction. We're going to speak to you about the trust in retrospect to credit, having a strong credit disposition. Franchise was good. That's my brother, man. Yeah, I just got back. Yeah, peace to the brother, Franchise Global. Make sure y'all follow his Instagram and see what he's talking about. He do a lot of the Forex trading and everything like that. He's very, very key. He has a lot of elements that's key to what we got to do as far as wealth building. So look at his name right there, Franchise Global. He really be dropping it. Matter of fact, bro, I'm gonna invite you in while I wait for my other brother to come through and drop some knowledge, and we let the people just find out where you at. I'll also be buying his clothes too. He has a nice brand. See if my brother.
My brother, what's good, King?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man? Everything good?
Yes, sir. So remember, y'all can go to BrotherPoLight45 for consulting. You know, it's $200 an hour, $300 in person. Once you make the payment, I'll forward you some questions so I can be debriefed on your specific interests and needs. And in doing so, that'll help optimize the experience. So that way, I don't have to ask you certain mundane questions. I'll devise a curriculum for you. We go straight to work when we start doing the consulting. We got the credit course, the credit restoration course, which is off the damn chain. Our people are getting it in. But before we do that, this is the information channel. I should have had you on too, King. So I'm glad you're here.
I'm gonna show y'all real quick. I'm gonna just show y'all what I'm doing. This is what I do, man. Like I wake up and I'm studying my Forex charts. You know what I mean? Forex is basically the foreign exchange market, right? So this chart that I got up on my screen right now directly is Bitcoin versus the US dollar. You know what I'm saying? So that means that if I'm gonna buy Bitcoin, if I think that Bitcoin is gonna be stronger than the US dollar, then I would try to buy. And you see where my mouse is at? It's down here. You always
listen. Damn, hold on.
About that. Anything else we do. But long story short, man, this is the biggest market in the world, right? This is 30 times larger than the stock market. 30 times. So picture the stock market one time. This is daily, not yearly. This is daily, 30 times larger. $6.6 trillion a day is being exchanged in this market. And if you travel or if you deal with money, you're a part of Forex, because every time you go to another country and exchange your money, the value and all of that, that's what you're doing. That's what this is based on, right? So I've been learning how to do this for the last 2-3 years. You can go through different pairs. So right here, I'm gonna pull up gold. This is gold versus the US dollar. You know what I'm saying? It's showing you. So just yesterday, for instance, you see that one little yellow candle? Those two. God, people keep calling me. Sorry about that.
Yes.
These last two candles, you see yellow candles, they're going down. People made millions. Some people who have a lot of money, they've made probably anywhere from $10 to $1 million was made. Millions of dollars was made just off the market going down one time. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, I'm definitely gonna get with you, man, and put something together. So I come on here and basically give a little bit more organized presentation.
Yeah. I know it's spontaneous.
Know what I mean? But
I just want make sure they got your handle.
It's definitely very real.
Right.
A lot of people think it's a scam. I hear a lot of people, oh, Forex is, hey, anything you do in life could be a scam if you don't take heed to it the right way. If you're not putting up pressure and you're not applying the mental capacity towards it, you know what I'm saying? So long story short, man, you know, I ain't here to act like I'm getting all the money in Forex. I've been learning this from one of my mentors for the last 1.5 years, and I'm starting to consistently see profits. I didn't see it overnight. I didn't see it as soon as I started. I had to study. I had to get my mind right and take it seriously. Some people think it could be a scam because some people think that there's companies that also offer Forex, but they also ask you to build a team. It's multi-level marketing. So sometimes people get that confused with the actual Forex market. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to make sure we clear right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want people to think, oh, it's some. I don't want no money from nobody. what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm not trying to ask somebody for nothing, but if I teach you something, of course, you know what I mean? We'll work something out, but information is free, and we giving out free information. Brother Polite that's taught me so much stuff over the last 5, 6, 7 years off of
Never
YouTube
charge
alone.
nothing. Facts.
Not to mention in person. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say thank you for letting me come up here. I just want to say hi to you first and foremost. Always got to
Hey,
salute you.
my
You know what I'm
brother.
saying?
Second I saw your
But
name, I lit up. And I
the
had you
Forex
on.
market, I want to give a little tip, right? For anybody who's interested in learning about the Forex market, I'm going to send you a website to a beginner's course where you could go and get free information and start to learn about it for free. It's not going to be the most advanced information, but it'll put you towards the beginning stages of just knowing what it is, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Give them that info.
So I just put it up there. It's I just typed it babypips.com, and that's the name of the site. You can go there and you can take the school. It's a course. It's a free course.
Man, that's dope. I appreciate you sharing that wisdom
no
with us.
problem, my brother.
I've been watching you put in that pain for the last year and change, and I see your growth and what you be sharing with the people. So I commend you, because every time you find something out from your own personal experience, I see you always, you're never reluctant to share it with the people. You share it with them. You don't charge them. Now you just get it in. So that's why I wanted to make sure.
I don't wait until I'm rich first. I don't wait until I have success. As soon as I find out, I put the information out there, because I want people to be able to, I don't care if you pass me. I just want the information to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So thank you, man. I've always wanted to share this with as many people as possible, because they've been keeping this from us for years. Because once you learn this, you get financial freedom. And they've been keeping this from us for years. Teach your kids this and teach yourself this, no matter how old you are and no matter how young they are. This is very important. It's very important to learn this, man. I promise you. It's like a life skill.
Yo, that's how you got to look at it. That's a good way to say it. Let them know your Instagram handle again so they can contact you.
Yeah, you can hit me at Franchise Global, FRANCHIZE.global. And just send me a request, and we chop it up if you got something to ask me. You know what I mean? But besides that, I don't want to take up the time. I'm here to learn too.
You added value. You ain't take up no time.
I came to learn too, so I'm going to sit back and let you have your platform back, and I'm going to sit here and watch what you got to say, my brother. Thank you.
Man, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man.
Peace, kid.
Yeah, peace. Yup, so that's the good brother right there. Franchise. You know, he gonna help you purchase a franchise. You keep messing around with him. He been on it very consistently, very good brother, always been positive since the time I met him. And despite the people he works with in the industry, he never limited himself to his own personal business success in the music and entertainment industry. He still endeavored to find out other information and also share it with the good brothers and stuff in the industry. But you know how that go. He gonna lock into the info. Everybody ain't gonna take heed, but he doesn't limit himself to his cachet of knowledge. He's always expanding. That I respect that so much about my brother right there. You know, I'm waiting for the brother Lawan. Lawan, if you're watching, oh, there you go. Boom. I'm bringing you in. we keeping it active. I'm waiting for Brother Lawan to come in. We keeping this active. Give me a lot of knowledge today. I want this to be the knowledge hub. I'm waiting for Lawan to come on. I'm waiting for him to come on. So again, you got BrotherPoLight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and phone number. Always leave your full name and your phone number when you're interested, especially in any of our services. Particularly right now, we're dealing with credit restoration. We got an amazing class coming up tomorrow. Another live stream for the people that's part of the course. The testimonials. I'm asking you, good brothers and sisters. I normally don't do this. I've done it here and there. I don't do it often. But because I'm getting so many great testimonials, I'm asking you guys, do your videos and let the people know, yeah, your credit went up 50 points. Credit went up 100 points. I got 6 figures from Brother Polite from the teachings that he's given us. I got 2 $50,000 credit cards when I wasn't even able to get a credit card at all. Okay, like that type of information. It says AV was unable to join. Brother Lawan, put your type something in again, and I'm gonna see about bringing you on. I don't know why it's not accepting you. We'll do it again. Just AV now. Write something again in the chat so I can add you in. But yeah, so I was on Facebook, and so many people was like, yo, Brother Polite, or attesting to people in the chat. I've been using this course in the first week and the first 2 weeks, and I never tell people in the first week, and I never tell people in the first 2 weeks. I say give it a month, month and a half. But nonetheless, hey, people been talking that talk and giving me a lot of love and kudos. And I love the fact that they're making the information applicable. Go live with AP now. And so I just pressed it again, Luan. So the beauty about it is, there we go. Peace to the brother, Luan.
Peace.
Peace. So I'm coming right now. I'm just going to finish up what I'm saying right here with this, and we're going to throw you in with compound interest with the knowledge. So send me your testimonials. I'd like y'all to send me the videos. Y'all can, if you're on Instagram, you can send me the video through Instagram. It doesn't have to be more than a minute. Just keep it about 30 seconds. Say how you benefited and what did you do. I gave people a step-by-step working model to automatically give them in or around 100+ points without them paying for the course. So those of you that's been paying attention to me, because I told you, it's the name of the game is knowing how much to gain and how much to lose. That's the name of the game. And as I showed you before, you have the 780 score and you have the 680 score. Those are two different thresholds. The goal is to make sure you don't get to the 800s, and they penalize the person in the 780 bracket for the same infraction more than they penalize the person in the 680 bracket. Below 680 is where you get the least privileges. You start being privileged when you're 680 upwards. So if the 680 score holder versus the 780 score holder conducts the same infraction, more points are taken off of the 780 score holder than the 680, because the goal is to get you beneath 680. All right, we discussed this. I told y'all about setting up the landline. You set up that landline, you're automatically going to give yourself 3 to 5 points. You set up that landline. Okay, I told you about setting up the UPS box or the FedEx box. That's going to get you at max 50 points, but it's always going to boost you 25 upward in points, especially if you go where the median income is going to be $150,000 upward a year. You follow those instructions. I gave you that. You have the 33 PDFs that represent templates. Good. These are templates for letters and affidavits that be sent to credit bureaus and financial institutions alike. If you set up a business, such as a trust, okay, you send that to the credit bureaus, particularly LexisNexis, okay, and some instances check systems, but that's a whole different situation. Let's keep it LexisNexis. And then I got a PDF for you when you're adding positive items to your report. It's your responsibility not to be subject to the information they include in your report, because most times it's not advantageous. You got the right to add positive items to your report. So those people that joined the course, you got 33 PDFs for 33 circumstances pertaining to credit. Who's doing that? You know what I'm saying? You got the 609 letter. You got the check systems to let them know, hey, you're crediting this information from my bank account, and you're determining a utilization ratio for my bank account as though it is a credit card, when they know that your income to expense ratio on average is disproportionate in the community. Give me like 5-7 minutes. So what this means is, when I teach you to use only 15% or to conduct a 15% credit utilization ratio for your credit card, what this is saying is that, yes, you can spend 20%, you can spend 30% of what they accredit you. A lot of bureaus don't like that 30% marker, because you're right where they say that's the max. So you don't want to spend the max, because it says something about you in character. That's why they got CDAs, consumer data aggregates. All right. And this is a data collection that's leveraged and used by credit bureaus to understand how risky you are. It's about the predictability of the consumer, okay, in retrospect to risk. So no, you don't use the latter. So people, nah, Polite, you can use 30%. I said, did they tell you 31% or 32%? No, you can use as much as 30%, which is exactly why I'm telling you don't. You see, when people disagree with me, it's ridiculous. I'm like, they tell you can use 30%, so you're going to make sure you use at least 30%. They're going to look at your behavior and know that you're bound to go over 30%. That's the fact. So we tell you to get a balance transfer option and 2 credit cards. And we tell you every 2 months to use your balance transfer option. People say, but Polite, the balance transfer option costs you money. yo, are you going to follow instructions to yield the results I'm telling you? Or do you want to teach about that which you don't know? So I am telling you, when you follow this strategy, and I got some testimonies for it, they're like, yo, polite. If you stay within 15% and you use your credit card at least 7 times a month, you don't want to use it more than 15. But if you use a 15%, so let's say you got a credit card limit of $5,000 and you stay within a 15% utilization ratio, then what you're saying is you're not going to spend more than $750 from the $5,000. When they see that you've used your credit card at least 7 times, staying within a 15% utilization rate, what they'll realize is history will tell them you can be approved for and trusted for a revolving line of credit, because they can tell by you using your card 7 or more times, less than 15, only using 15% of $5,000, staying within $750, that, yo, you can be trusted. Because with that $5,000, it's not like you use your card once and you didn't use it at all. No, you got to use it. But do you have the discipline to use it 7 to 15 times each month at 15%? Nice. Without going over? And then should you go over, you automatically know to allocate the excess funds to the second credit card, exercising your balance transfer option. In 2 months, you will have 50 plus points. I guarantee you that, just for that behavior in 2 months. Then you get that UPS box. Okay? Not then. You have that box in place. You're going to get 25 to another 50 points. You get that landline. You're only going to get 3 to 5 points. If you got a business set up, even if you haven't done nothing hardcore with the business other than get it set up and set up a bank account, you send that template in that I give you with the address on it, and you let the bureaus know you need to add this as a positive item to your report. And you're going to get 35 to 50 more points again. I just gave you over 100 points just talking to you for free. For free. And if you want an item removed, you got to also have that template I gave you for the 30-day notice, because it's $20,000 to $30,000 if they don't respond. Okay? And you got to give them a 30-day notice to let them know the implications and ramifications of a lack of response. And then you got a lack of that response notice. Okay? You got to have your strategy in place. Anybody that's in the credit course will tell you they're loaded with information. The second you join, you get 33 PDFs. 1. Then you get another PowerPoint presentation with a corresponding video with instructions about strategies such as this and more. Whether you're going for the black card, and I show you why you need a landline for the black card and a corresponding address. Okay, I go into all this information because it's necessary. Now I want you to get ready to get into the trust data. Okay, now you just go to BrotherPoLight45@gmail.com. I forewarn you, it's a discounted rate of $225. It doesn't concern me if the price concerns you, because I'm not going to help you get approved for 2 credit cards for $50,000 and have 100 grand at your disposal, and you're going to complain to me about $225. And you're not going to give me no bread once you get the 2 credit cards and say, yo, Pete, let me just patronize you for 500. So I'm going to charge $225 up front, because I'm probably ain't going to see a lot of you. Once you get that, you're going to find all sorts of reasons and excuses why you got to pay for different things. And I'm not mad at it. I charge what I charge, so I don't have to complain when you do what you do. And those of you that have a different vibe, I appreciate you, because I'm not going to say that's everybody, because a lot of people that make their bread, they automatically come back. Yo, polite, I don't even want nothing. Let me just charge $1,000 to the card to something. And I ain't going to tell you be shy about that. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you go 20% over the card, 20% credit utilization ratio allocated towards the other card, you are safe for 20%, but I'm telling you the way that boosts your score. Okay? When you take the course, I show you what they remove 10 points for, what they remove 30 points for, what they remove 50 points for. And I source it, FICO. I give you the actual source material and where to look it up. That's the beauty about what I do. I'm not randomly pulling these numbers out of a hat to make you feel good so I can look like the credit guru. But the point of the matter is, I'm a researcher by nature. So I pull up the research, and then I give you the source to make your job easier, because you go to work. You go to work during the day. So I don't expect people to have to work, babysit, and multitask in so many other dimensions to have the luxury that we have to commit ourselves to research. You know, this is a level of excellence that can only be produced. Granted, you have the amount of time to apply the level of research. So that's why I do the PowerPoint, so I can take the notes for you. Yes, that's Brother Polite. I'm going to definitely save this live. Don't worry about it. BrotherPoLight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number. Always leave your phone number and your name. Brother Lawan is about to break something down for you. Hold tight. Do not leave, nobody. Do not leave. You there?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, I'm coming right now. I'm at the damn Botanical Gardens, damn near.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming right now. I gotta go on this elevator, and then we can get busy. Stay on, y'all. I gotta go on the elevator. Okay, hold on. Home sweet home. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. No, I just landed not too long ago. I'm about to mess up my schedule. I have to make sure I stay on point. I start getting the ripping and the running, and I didn't realize 15 minutes already elapsed. But yeah, go ahead, Lawan, do your talk your talk for the trust. I want you to break down the significance of the trust, because trust is very important. Because first of all, we learn now that we can add the trust as a positive item to the report. Because what we're doing, we're not only showing people how to remove items, we're showing there's a list of things that you can add to your report. So we've played the role of victim for so long. You know, the black community likes playing victim, and for all the right reasons. But what I mean by playing victim is you could be in a victim role for so long
Yes.
that you don't mind leaving yourself subject to things that don't necessarily have to take place. There's infractions being perpetrated against us that we don't necessarily have to embrace.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we don't know strategy. We haven't been given methodology. We're given teachers that bit, moan, and groan.
Yes.
And so bitching, moaning, and groaning has become the new revolution. So much so that when someone speaks to you about results, you are apprehensive. You are reluctant. You are hesitant. Because how the hell can you have solutions as the victim? The key factor to being a victim is not being able to come out of being victimized. So we've been taught about being victimized for so long that now when someone has resourceful information, it's like, no, it can't be true, because we're victims, and victims are not designed to come out of the victimization.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to play the victim card here. I don't want to have a conversation about what they have done to us from this year to that year to the next. I don't want to have that conversation.
Right.
It's useless.
Right.
Okay? It's useless.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so now what we're doing, we're proactive. We're not reactionary. We're proactive, and we say, hey, here's some options on the table. And one of the options on the table, namely, is the trust. That's one of the options on the table.
Right.
The trust. Okay? And it helps you in so many forms. But one of the ways that it helps you is that you can add it as a positive item to your credit report to boost your score. I don't give a damn who you owe, what they don't give you. When you add the trust to your report, you're going 35 points upward. It's a fact. It's a complete fact.
Yes.
Okay, and I have my people that's about to testify to that shit. It's a fact. And that doesn't even include why you want to trust in the first place.
Right.
Okay, so we talked about status correction. Okay, and I want to ask you, LaJuan, what is status correction first and foremost? And how can that be leveraged into a trust for the purposes of amassing wealth? A segue for wealth stewardship. Because every now and then people confuse us with the types who just like printing paper. That
Right.
stipulates you have billions of dollars. And you got to lean on the White House. And we don't got time for none of that BS because we know you guys have families and you have to pay bills. So, Brother LaJuan, tell us what the status correction is in retrospect to operate in a trust
No
for the
problem.
benefit of the person. That's
No
the
problem.
trustee option. Go ahead, my brother.
No problem.
And again, you go to BrotherPoLight45@gmail.com. And this is the guy that's gonna do your trust for you. But go ahead.
Yes. What I usually tell most of my students is that we have to back up a little bit, and because status correction is being taught, and what we want to do is not miss anything when it comes to the information on how to really go from point A to point B, how to set up your estate, your financial plan, and all of these things are instruments that you would use, in order to further your plan. Okay, so each trust has an economic stress metric. But before you even talk about the trust, we want to talk about status. So if you have teachers that are teaching you about status correction, we got to first look at that word status. Okay, because status. Okay. If you look at the word estate.
Good thing you told us though.
In the there's a lot of talking back there. I don't know if y'all can hear me. One thing, all right. In the etymological pipeline of the word estate, you will see the Latin word status. So status is directly attached to your estate. In your estate plan, you're going to you have to consider the quality of assets supplied to your trust instrument, okay? Because it's not enough for you to just have paperwork, as the brother just said. We can have paperwork, tuck it in a drawer, but it won't do anything for you. You have to know how to apply this knowledge to every single instance in your financial plan, whether it be in contracts and law, legal issues, and so on and so forth, credit, accumulating assets, and so on and so forth. So if your status is just paperwork, what are you actually doing? Because your financial plan is going to include wealth building, wealth preservation, and wealth stewardship. Wealth building, wealth preservation, and wealth stewardship, because the stewardship is what gets you into your generational wealth. Like this a lot of people are just, I guess it's just like a tag word or something that people are using. When it comes to generational wealth, you have to get to that point. And you can't get to that point without having wealth to preserve. If you build the wealth, then you can now preserve it. And you'll preserve it in those different markets. All right, so it could be stock market, real estate market, different markets you can preserve your wealth in order to make 10, 20, 30% interest on your money that's already been made. So you got to pay attention to how to build the wealth. But if you're not, interested in all of that, how are you going to be interested in your status correction? Because your status has everything to do with your estate plan. Okay, estate. that means you're going to have property. And if the quality of assets that you want to accumulate is small, or you look at it like your car or any other type of asset that you're accumulating is not does not have positive value, or it now or in the near future, then you're actually being counterproductive to your financial plan. Okay, so status correction, it's like, okay, I get the status correction, but for everybody it's different. So I would like to know, okay, why do you want to do this? Okay, what is it that's hindering you in your life? Okay, it could be creditors, it could be creditors like student loans, it could be child support, it could be legal issues, so on and so forth. I would like for people to get into those things and say exactly what it is. Or I have a house, I'm losing it, because you have to apply it. You have to apply the paperwork to the specific thing that is hindering you. Okay? And what we have is a lot of people just giving out paperwork and giving out any tools and different things in order to I guess
I just touched it.
I guess it get one part of your financial plan to resonate. Okay, so they want this one thing to fix everything, but it's not. Okay, Brother Polite, what I was explaining to them is that when you have when you're preserving wealth, okay, you must first build it. Okay, you cannot preserve what you don't have. So it's segmented. So you have wealth building, wealth preservation, and then wealth stewardship. Wealth stewardship is going to put you into your generational wealth, how to reach generation 2, generation 3, generation 4. Okay, so if we just see the plan and how to get there first, let's identify where we are. Okay, because when I put money into markets, I have to make that money somewhere. I have to generate that money from somewhere. I have to accumulate assets and the quality of assets and have a downside deviation. So I have to have a formula or a metric for my losses in the interim. While I am building wealth, while I am preserving wealth, I have to have safeguards. I have to have a plan for downside. So we call it downside protection. Okay, so if you first are not dealing with those things, okay, you're not putting your mind at ease by saying, okay, this is how I'm going to build, this is how I'm going to preserve, and this is how I'm going to make sure that my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren reap from this, reap from my decision making right now. Okay, one brother in the chat said something about generational scams, right? And I think that if we equipped ourselves with precise knowledge, in the Greek it's called epignosis, if we prepare ourselves with precise knowledge, we can get through this. We can be ahead. Okay, because the ultra high net worth individuals that live amongst us or in the United States, okay, they don't get to group economics. They don't get to this big old grandiose meeting of the minds without first building wealth in their families. So if you're not building family wealth, you cannot build group economics. You cannot have it without first considering your family, considering what you're doing right now to build. Okay, build, preserve, and now be a steward over that wealth into generations. Like Polite and his wife right now, and his daughter in the picture right now. That's generations right there. That's greatness. You want to make sure that you can make provision, make great plans, and make great decisions. She is so pretty. Make great decisions, in order to make sure that their lives their lives are on not easy street, but comfortable. Okay, because you never know how things are going to materialize in this economy. And another thing about status too, I think that is very important to see or study the macro environment. Okay, if you are not looking at the macro environment or what's going on in our country when it comes to monetary policy, and then we're going to go after different investment schemes that are not going to profit us because we can't determine whether it's good for right now or
Real
good
talk.
for 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Because again, we want to build generational wealth. We want to make sure that we touch generation 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we can't do that if we're not looking at the macro environment, because we need to know how it works. What is monetary policy? Does interest rates going up and down affect what I have right now or what I'm going to have? Okay, we need to know this, what's taking place right now. So, and the reason why I say that that's important when it comes to status is because a lot of things with status, they talk about banking policy. They talk about issuing notes. They talk about creating notes, okay, and creating money or to set off debt. How are you setting off when you don't have the status of being a bank association or a banker? How do you do it? Okay, because something's missing here if you're telling me I can just issue notes. That's why when you go to court and they're looking at your paperwork, they're saying this is frivolous, this makes no sense, you know.
Right.
I mean, and that's because you haven't read the empirical knowledge that is attached to this. Because the reason at law, status is understood. At law, okay, in the banking sector or in monetary policy, it may not be understood like you think, and that is empirically true. I've studied Henry McLeod and Nut Wixell. These are economists, not from the United States, that have perpetuated, that has talked about this knowledge in their writings. Very important writings. So I'm thinking, like, how do I change my status? Meaning, how do I change my estate plan? You cannot have status without property. If you don't add property to your status, you have no status, because you couldn't even vote in the United States without having property. You could not even do it. So I want people to understand that there's so much more to it than the administrative effort that is involved in defaulting the government or defaulting those who you are sending notice out to, okay? Chargeback orders and money orders and A for V and, you know, all of these different notes. You're issuing these negotiable instruments and you haven't the foundational knowledge, okay, and how to make that connection, how to bring that bridge together with your estate and your status correction. They should not be separated. They should not be separated.
The beauty about this,
many things off credit reports with the status.
right.
Just ask somebody. Just ask anybody that has ever dealt with me. Okay, how many things that I can get off their credit reports with the status.
That's right.
So
that's what we're doing.
me applying it directly to the credit agencies. That's not me just having paperwork in the drawer.
And this is why when we talk about credit, I always express that it's a covert form of a class system, because different people are privileged at different intervals in society. It's a class system. It's just done covertly. And obviously, paradoxically enough, that, you know, the people who got a 600 score, they're in a certain class. The people who got a 700 score, they're in a certain class. The people over 780, they're in a certain class. So, and it costs to be poor.
Oh,
okay?
Yes.
So the more poor you are, the more expensive things are. And the more wealthy you are, the more things are just given to you, handed to you. Oh, you don't have to pay for that until the first year. You don't have to pay no APR, worry about the APR for the credit card until the first 3 months. But here it is, the poor person, they have to pay everything because they're benefiting the other people that's privileged. Poor people are paying for the more privy people to enjoy their privilege. This is a fact.
Yes.
But I see some very good comments there. We got to take that to YouTube. You know, I love when people write those things, but every time I offer you guys the opportunity to join in, when you choose to be antagonists, you never join in. You always duck and dodge. I haven't got one daredevil yet, but I'm about to go play some ball and get into my routine. We're going to build. We're going to set up something special. But again, that's Brother Lawan Abram. He will be the trust fund manager. He will be the one creating it. So whenever you guys are ready for the trust, we're gonna erect a full synopsis to our media, so that way some of these things it'll just be a self-explanatory presentation. So that way, when we get to work, we get straight to business. But nonetheless, BrotherPoLight45@gmail.com. Leave your full name and your number. We're about to get it in for the credit course. We're doing our next session 4 tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's been a phenomenal course.
Peace and many blessings.
Peace.
They told me to get up out of here. Peace.
Thanks, Polite.
I'm gonna holler at you soon, L.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.